Is that okay? I'm not gonna let it scroll through.
Yeah, just, let's see what we got.
Alright, so let's start over. Alright, good evening, Dr. Gers. This is checkpoint 5, the objective of this presentation is to bring you up to date of where we stand today for the deliverable project that is due on the 22nd of November. So just high-level, quick update. Everything, all phases of the deliverables, which is the break-even analysis, the video presentation, the brochure, and the instructor manual, is all moving according to our deliverable timetable. So we have additional inserts in there as well, which is the Gantt chart, which will highlight our deliverables, and then our additional analysis for the coastal retreat location. At the end of this week, November 15th, all deliverables will be delivered and distributed within the residential team and the online team. So we will then look and comment and finalize all deliverables, and then we will meet for our final meeting November 18th, which is next Monday.
Right.
And we will fine tune everything and then to coordinate the final deliverable to you, hopefully on time, if not earlier. And as far as all the other departmental updates, each department manager for the residential team will provide you an update of their respective departments.
Okay.
In the absence of Scott, I'll give you a quick update. So Scott was one of 3 participants that went to the St. James County Park to physically confirm, 1, the site, 2, the amenities, and then 3, the sleeping conditions of the accommodations.
Okay.
So himself, Stephanie, and
So do we know what he confirmed?
he confirmed everything from the actual physical site of the actual cabin, the layout of the campground, the facilities or additional services that are offered to the participants that will be attending.
I saw a note on somebody's thing in the online section that said there was 3 stars and it says, you need to bring your own bed sheets.
Yes.
That's absolutely not true.
That's not true?
No.
I don't know who visited there from the online. I can confirm with confidence that 3 people from our class physically went there.
Okay, so that's not the issue.
That is not the issue.
Okay.
That should not,
That's
that
fine.
should be another.
Because that would create a whole different problem set.
Yes, yes, it would.
Yeah.
We more so confirmed everything as far as.
So what do you think of the rooms?
Uh,
Is it spacious enough to do stuff, or is it not?
I would let Michael and Stephanie
Okay, go ahead.
confirm, but they can answer that question. So from what they've communicated to myself, yes, the answer would be yes.
Okay.
It doesn't work, the photos are in the presentation.
Careful.
That's what I mean.
Worst case scenario,
You should be able to just click, not have to hit
so
there.
if you go to the photos, that, or
Yeah, this is fine.
Right there, photos.
see the hyperlink.
That's fun, huh?
It's very,
Safety.
yes.
Bed sheets.
Okay, good. And bed sheets.
And towels.
So these photos were taken on site by Michael, probably
Nice,
about a
yeah.
week old.
Yeah.
It is a nice guy. And it did.
Okay, so that's some room. It's got the TV and such, so you can wire up stuff. That's good, okay.
Yeah. So at last week's meeting, when we went over the photos, we actually talked about a little bit of incorporating the activities. And as far as social time, and as far as inclement weather, we kind of talked about the different scenarios as far as how to utilize the space, how to utilize the activities, and how they will actually have their meals. So we kind of looked at it from a 360 viewpoint. So Dave brought up some good observations.
So we set these fears to rest, and you should be happy about that, because now we don't have to go looking for anything else, right? Okay, so this is our set thing now.
Yes.
Okay, good,
And it's within budget.
good. Barely, but it still works.
Still, yeah,
As
as
long as
long
it
as
works.
it's in the green, yeah.
That's right,
We'll
okay.
definitely make it. And As far as with Scott, I mean, he's been supporting from the IT initiative, setting up the Google Docs and providing support between the residential and online class, on top of going to St. James Park and kind of putting together the on-hand analysis or on-site analysis
Great,
to kind of vet out all the activities and then the accommodations.
great.
So I'm gonna pass it off to the logistics department, which is Michael, and he'll provide the.
So me, Stephanie, Scott went to the site. Wonderful place. It's like a hotel. The kitchen has basically everything but dishwasher. So that's the main thing I did as a logistic manager. And the second thing I did is after communicating with other departments, we realized instead of asking them to really make their own breakfast, we're gonna change the breakfast menu a bit. So we're not gonna have bacon and eggs, and instead we're gonna buy them muffins and bagels. So what they're gonna do is get it, and they can just eat, because in several hours later they're gonna actually have a full lunch. So we totally don't, we see it, we don't see the need of having like a huge breakfast. So we changed the menu a bit.
Great.
Yep, that's pretty much I did, and answering questions about the site, and if everyone has questions, feel free to ask me.
Is that porch screened in?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so I mean, you have spaces between the inside and that, where even
Yes.
if it's raining, you could probably do something.
Yes, unless it's like,
There's a lot of room
Space.
for contingency.
Yeah.
Yeah, the space underneath, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very-
Oh, yes.
I stand down, and for me it's still fine, so I think in case bad weather, we can still use the
Yeah.
space now.
Okay, that's good.
Thank you.
Is it me next?
Yes.
Yes, activities.
Well, if you don't want me to go to my slide, that's fine,
Go
basically.
to your slide,
Okay.
go ahead.
You
I'm
figure
not
it
trying to
out.
stop you.
What do I need to push?
Click on that. There you go. And then,
Space just a second.
Here, I'll let her do it.
I was confident that was it, too.
there we go.
Okay, good.
You just click one more. That's, I have to do that now.
Okay. All the original activities have been approved. We have assisted the logistic and research departments with tasks, and of course, it's still subject to any possible needs that may arise, although I see those needs dwindling away. We've still been doing our Gantt chart, still updating that with our steps and completion of the steps. And obviously, the vendor's been located, activities have all been priced, and Michael and Scott have been a huge help with that one. And pretty much what's in process for our department is more aimed towards helping others, assisting other managers and other departments with things they may need, jumping in on different things. Of course, department meetings are still an ongoing process. And collaboration and division of tasks, basically put, my opinion is, in all hands on deck fashion, our entire project team continues to work tirelessly with each other to complete any task as needed.
Okay.
So we're in the end game, and we're all gonna help each other.
Okay. I don't have any more questions for you. Next. I'm saving my questions, yes.
I just want to instructors, department managers. Last meeting, we finalized the itinerary. So basically what I did was break down the itinerary into words, so they can see in detail exactly what they need to do. Work with David to make sure that the activities were in detail as to what they needed to be. Had the idea of having an exit survey,
It's a good idea.
so they can have feedback, OneWorldHealth, what they need to change, what they like, measurable stuff. And still working closely with Stephanie on the brochure to make sure that the participants know what to bring as far as a coat, a jacket, umbrella, laptop, stuff like that, when the brochure gets sent out, so they would know to have it. Would you like to see the instructor do that?
I would like to see if it looks different than the one, no, that's gonna be the same one. This is gonna be the same one,
Yeah.
Oh, it is?
with the funny numbers.
It's because we
It's
dropped it in the
because-
drive and it messed up the format.
Okay, we'll look at it later. How about, the brochure? Do you have that somewhere?
That
For sure,
is
on the next
Stephanie.
slide.
Next slide.
I have it.
Any questions?
Save them for Stephanie. No pressure.
So the schedule has already been done, and that's what we can distribute throughout the team and the online team. And this is a brochure that I created. I have one on hand.
Jamie got
Is
He's
there?
got it, he's got it.
Okay. So the front cover, it shows the name of the location that the participants will be attending, the reason, and if you go to the other page, I've added the schedules on the left, on the right side, along with the pictures of the cabinet and what we have inside the cabinet as well, and the price of that each participant will need to pay.
Okay, so I'm looking at this and you're telling me what OneWorldHealth is, but these are all people that work as volunteers for OneWorldHealth, so they know about the organization. I'm not sure that that block is necessary,
Okay.
right? I'm looking at this and I'm seeing that this doesn't line up in here, so I'm trying to help
I mean,
you.
that's still an ongoing process, we still,
Okay.
yeah.
And when I fold it over, it doesn't fold right.
Again, she will.
Okay, I'm just trying to help you. So this will all be ironed out in one fancy brochure that I'll actually
Right.
see the real
This is
thing?
just a
Right,
little
it's just a
draft.
mock-up, okay,
Right.
just trying to help.
Any other suggestions besides that?
Yeah.
No, but those are the things that we
Okay.
need to clean up so that we know whatever, I mean, the pictures are good, but we need to understand what's what.
So getting on it, we might not need to tell them what they probably already know about
Yeah,
OneWorldHealth, but maybe put something else in there that might be relevant, that they might
Yeah,
not
you
know
know.
about what we're doing.
If you don't have something, or if there's no other place for it, what you need, what we have on there before, we have the cost, but that, I mean, they don't need a breakdown of the cabin cost, right? We didn't need that. I don't know that we need this paragraph, but what you need to bring. You need to bring clothes for 3 days, notebook, Bible, I don't know what, I mean,
Mhm.
just whatever those things are, that would be a better use of space,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what else you'd want to do with it, but again, I'm judging on how professional it looks. It shouldn't look like a bunch of students did it, it should look professional, and you all are professionals, well, mostly, okay?
We'd like to think we are.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm really looking for here, okay? Anything else?
No.
Okay?
In that train of thought, then we're working on the video portion of to start with my slides. Checkpoints to date, we've completed. We've established the tools for editing, our timeline for deliverables. In our video presentation, we're doing a slideshow format with voiceover. It's going to be 3 to 5 minutes. And we did have a slide discussing OneWorldHealth. Do you think we should leave that?
If it's a slide, that's one thing, if it takes the whole time, that's different.
No, it'll just be a brief, just to kind of
Just
get the
brief.
video started
Yeah.
and then go into department
Mhm.
and discuss the individual people where emphasis are. Sorry. Well, the online is writing the script, I'll be doing the voiceover.
Okay.
And Jennifer and I have been working with each other daily
Okay.
to complete these. We're also, as of today, working on the brochure edits, so I'll talk to you some more stuff to complete that. The itinerary edits and the instructor manual edits, create one voice to make it look professional, to have everything cited correctly.
Okay.
really the video is the unknown at this point.
Okay. I can't see the instructor manual either, so you gotta make sure that that rocks, because that has to be clean, it has to
Can I
have
put
the
my
right.
computer in so you
Yeah,
can
sure,
see it?
you can do that. If you screw up my computer though, you're gonna
Okay,
use
well, I'm
yours,
just gonna show
we'll
it.
use yours for,
Because I'm feeling a lot of pressure.
Well, what happens if this computer screws up first?
Okay,
I got it pulled up, and
you do?
it's just the one that I
Okay,
sent
so
you.
this is the video. We're gonna speak over this.
Yeah.
This is just bare bones, but,
that might be hard to read in the video, you might need to.
right now, we're just dumping data into
Okay.
it, and then we'll streamline it. and
Okay,
have-
so this is your thing, so I'm not sure why you started with the page with the introduction page that you started with. Something like that should start with the cover page, I would imagine, right? Okay, so,
We'll take care of all of that.
pictures are good, the timeline is good, okay, so when you break this down into, okay, so what I want to make sure is that, so I'm looking at activities, you're telling the activity, but, so for each time, there should be a realistic time objective. So I'm looking at, you have, get to know each other, is that gonna take 45 minutes to just get to know each other?
On a s-
It's the entire game,
Okay,
so the entire game will
okay, so you need to break that down so it's realistic time frames. And if somebody says, shake hands for 10 minutes, you never shake hands for 10 minutes. That's like a 1 minute thing. So make sure your time frame, no, sure, I'm serious, because this is the kind of thing that makes or breaks this kind of thing. It makes it useful or not.
Yeah,
So, you know, make sure that all the time frames are realistic, that, you know, you can incorporate the helping without hurting videos. That's not a bad use of your time,
yeah.
right? I mean, those are like 15-minute blocks, each of those. If they're incorporated well, and you're working around it, you're doing an activity, doing a video, asking questions about it afterwards, that can really flow, but you have to have that ironed down. So it looks aesthetically nice, but you gotta make sure that those kind of things work out well.
Or perhaps related to the timelines too, would it be acceptable to change a lot of the language, like allow 3 minutes to 7 minutes or something like that, instead of say 10 minutes or 5 minutes?
Yeah, yeah, you could, but I mean, just be realistic about it. Okay, so I see you by activity. Is activity each session? Is that what you mean by activity?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
It was, if you look at,
Yeah.
break
So
it
the
down and
activity
say, go to
will-
activity 1, or it'll say,
Is that what you call it, activity one?
so it'll say, life highlights game activity.
Okay, however it is, just make sure it's dummy proof for
Okay.
whoever is reading it. They should be able to pick it up and do the thing. Now, they're not gonna do it perfectly or necessarily consistently, but we want them to go, wow, this is great, we could just do this. That's what we want. That's what we
Assume
want the
they're
client
novice.
to experience.
Assume they're completely novice to the
Yeah,
subject.
assume that they don't have any expert knowledge, so if I walk in, I could probably filibuster and talk about leadership for hours, right? Don't assume that they can,
Yeah,
right? So you have to have everything laid out, almost like you ever see a Sunday school curriculum, or talk about this for 5 minutes, then talk about this, ask them about, that's the kind of thing that you're gonna wanna do.
okay.
So how about we look at it and
I would have questions for them after every activity.
Yeah, have discussion questions, those kind of things, just to make sure that they can actually
How
follow
would
it.
you apply
right
this
through.
in real world? How would something
That might be more relevant, how are we? how
Okay,
can
so
you
I
apply
feel
this?
better about this after having laid eyes on it, but you gotta have some tweaks to do. Just make sure that you make it realistic in the time frames. What other questions you have for me?
Video presentation.
What about it?
So for the final presentation,
Mhm.
for our final class, we'll be playing the final video
Yeah.
presentation, or is that only for you?
No, you'll be playing it, but then you'll go through everything that you need to talk about, to tell me about whatever else you
So we'll
need to
also
talk.
present
Yeah,
in the same
yeah.
manner.
The video is short, right? This is just a condensed form of it. And then you're
Go into the detail.
going into the weeds.
I think
Right?
they're right.
Okay, any other questions?
Question after each
Comments,
one.
snide remarks, anything?
No, I think we're good.
Okay, good. If you feel comfortable, I feel much more comfortable than I did last time.
Okay.
Okay, so, and that was more comfortable than the time before, which is the right direction, that's where we want to be going. So you're moving along the right path, I'm not worried about that, but we only have until 2 weeks from now. So, time is short. But isn't it weird to think that we'll be done with this before Thanksgiving?
Who's all gonna be
Like,
here?
I mean, it's a strange thing, I'm sorry.
Who's all gonna be here?
So at least, what's her name? From
Amy.
OneWorldHealth. Amy, yeah, Amy York. At least Amy York and maybe a colleague with her who will be able to see the thing. That's what she's done in the past.
Does she have any requests for
I'm
this
sorry?
year's? Does she have any requests?
No, her only request that was different was to change the potential location from coastal, because that's what a different class had done with this, which was a good find. Coastal retreat was a nice find, because they found like something that, I've done this is the third time on this particular project, and the first time they found like a house, like with only so many double beds, which was like, okay, this is creepy, right? You know, I mean, that's, you don't want to like double people up, and it's just, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Back on the activities, perhaps one of the refinements being that I state what the objective is at the bottom, or what the outcome should be of the exercise.
Yeah, I mean,
My question is, at the top, should I remove the purpose part?
I'm not worried about that.
Okay.
I think you're overthinking that. I think what you need to, whether you put it at the front or the bottom, that's immaterial to me, as long as you know where you're going, what's gonna be done, and the things line up. So if we're talking about organization and your job, and this is not what you're gonna do, and you wanted to talk about, hey, let's talk about a Gantt chart and a PERT chart and an organizational chart, and you'd have 5 minutes on each, right? And then you talk about what are the differences between those afterwards, and then you'd go draw your own, right? If you're doing that, just lay it all out so it's systematic and clear.
Lay out only the relevant thoughts.
Layout, no, I'm saying layout so it's very clear to follow step by step what you're gonna do. But the whole point of that was to talk about organizational charts of some sort, right?
Is Amy York directing each of these activities?
No, so we don't know who will direct those activities.
Somebody will.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's gotta be like where we could hand it to somebody within our organization and they can just run with it.
Okay.
So she's the volunteer coordinator for these things, and so she's kind of over this stuff. And so it's a nice fit, because we want to partner with organizations like this and do stuff work. And it's a good thing for you, because you have to figure out how to do all these things, including logistics, where you have no idea what you're looking for or trying to find, and you did a good job with finding what you found. But again, I'm measuring you on how professional everything is. That's what we're going for.